Imagine you're stuck in traffic. Your bladder is sending signals. You're shifting in your seat, looking around, and hoping you'll reach your destination soon. You tell yourself, I can wait a little longer. But what if I told you that every extra minute affects a fascinating chain of events inside your body? And by the end of this video, I'll reveal a surprising warning sign that many people overlook. Stay until the end, because it could change how you think about your bladder forever. Let's see what actually happens inside your body when you hold your pee for too long. Where does pee come from? Before we understand what happens when you hold it, we first need to understand how urine is made. Your kidneys work around the clock. Every day, they filter large amounts of blood, removing waste products, excess salts, and extra water. These wastes are turned into urine. The urine then travels through tiny tubes called ureters and enters a storage organ called the bladder. Think of your bladder as a flexible storage pouch. When it's empty, it's small. As urine fills it, the walls stretch. Special nerves inside the bladder monitor how full it becomes. When the bladder reaches a certain level, those nerves send a signal to your brain. The message is simple. It's time to find a restroom. But many people ignore this signal, and that's when the story becomes interesting. The first urge. At first, nothing dramatic happens. When you resist the urge, your brain sends signals back to the bladder muscles. The bladder relaxes slightly while other muscles help keep everything under control. This allows you to postpone a restroom visit for a while. However, the bladder continues filling. You may begin to notice yourself shifting positions, crossing your legs, looking around more often, or thinking about where the nearest restroom might be. That's because your brain is receiving stronger signals from the bladder. Why some people feel it more often. Have you ever noticed that some people seem to visit the restroom constantly, while others can go for hours? This isn't always because they drink more water. Age, body size, activity level, and certain beverages can all affect how frequently your body produces urine. Coffee, tea, energy drinks, and some soft drinks can increase urine production. Even the weather can make a difference. This means that what feels normal for one person may be completely different for another. What happens in your brain? Many people think the bladder does all the work, but your brain is actually the control center. Every few minutes, nerves inside the bladder send updates to the brain. At first, those messages are small, but as the bladder fills, they become stronger. Eventually, your brain begins paying more attention to them. This is why it can become harder to focus on work, conversations, or even your favorite movie. Your body is trying to solve a problem before it becomes uncomfortable, holding it for hours. As the bladder continues filling, the walls stretch further. Imagine inflating a balloon over and over again. The bladder is designed to stretch, but it works best when it operates normally. Repeatedly delaying restroom visits may affect how the bladder responds over time. Urine remaining in the bladder for long periods may also create conditions that are less ideal for the urinary system. That's why healthy bathroom habits matter. The funny things people do. When people are searching for a restroom, they often perform funny behaviors without realizing it. Some walk faster. Some repeatedly glance around. Others keep changing positions. Many people stop drinking water because they think it will solve the problem immediately. These reactions are surprisingly common. You've probably done at least one of them yourself. What about the kidneys? Here's where things become even more interesting. Your kidneys continuously produce urine. They're always working. They're always filtering. They're always helping maintain balance inside your body. That's why the urinary system functions as a team. The kidneys, ureters, bladder, nerves, and brain all work together in a carefully coordinated process. What happens when you finally go? Eventually, you reach a restroom. The bladder muscles begin working together. The urinary system performs the task it was designed to perform. As the bladder empties, the signals to the brain begin to decrease. Many people immediately feel relaxed. The tension disappears, the constant awareness fades, and the body returns to its normal rhythm. A surprising fact about the bladder. Here's something many people don't know. An adult bladder can often hold more fluid than people expect. However, the exact amount varies from person to person. Some people naturally feel signals sooner, others feel them later. The important thing isn't seeing how long you can wait. The goal is maintaining healthy habits and allowing your body to function naturally. Tips for long travels. If you're preparing for a long trip, don't suddenly drink a huge amount of water right before leaving. Instead, stay hydrated throughout the day. Plan restroom stops in advance. Identify fuel stations, shopping centers, and rest areas along your route. Avoid consuming large amounts of caffeinated drinks immediately before long journeys. Preparation is always better than panic. Many experienced travelers schedule regular breaks every few hours. Not only does this support bladder health, but it also helps reduce fatigue from sitting too long. The warning sign. Remember the warning sign I mentioned earlier? If you frequently experience sudden overwhelming signals from your bladder, or find yourself rushing to the restroom on a regular basis, it's worth paying attention. Your body communicates for a reason, and those signals shouldn't be ignored. If something feels unusual or changes significantly, discussing it with a qualified healthcare professional can be helpful. Tips for long travels. Let's say you're preparing for a long road trip. What's the smartest strategy? First, stay hydrated throughout the day, rather than drinking a large amount all at once before departure. Second, identify rest stops, fuel stations, shopping centers, and restaurants along your route. Third, avoid consuming large quantities of caffeinated beverages immediately before travel. Many experienced travelers also plan short breaks every few hours. Not only does this support bladder health, but it also helps reduce fatigue and stiffness from sitting too long. For people traveling through remote locations, carrying approved emergency travel equipment can provide peace of mind. Preparation is always better than panic. The next time you're sitting in traffic, shopping at a mall, traveling on a bus, or watching your favorite movie, remember what's happening behind the scenes. Inside your body, an incredible team of organs is working together every second. Your kidneys are filtering blood. Your bladder is storing waste. Your nerves are communicating with your brain. And your brain is coordinating the entire process. Most people never think about this system until something feels different. But understanding how your body works is one of the best investments you can make. Because the more you understand it, the better you can take care of it. If you enjoyed this anatomy journey, subscribe and watch our next video, where we reveal what happens inside your body when you stay awake for 72 hours.